In a mysterious orange grove, an extraterrestrial visitor appears. A brain-sucking monster bird captures babies for feeding. The infamous dog lovers are performing human modifications underground. The most classic mockumentary. A new installment of Fatal Videos is coming, bringing horror to the forefront of sci-fi inspiration. It presents 5 terrifying tales. An anonymous Reddit user purchased 2 videotapes at the market. He sent an anonymous email to the show's producer Jay Cheel and attached footage from the tapes. The following 5 segments all come from those videotapes. First up is the story The Stork. In October 2023, in a small town in America, kidnapping cases have surged in the past 3 months. 17 infants have mysteriously vanished. The good news is, the police have found the kidnappers' trail. 5 officers arrive at an abandoned house, where the criminals are hiding. At the door, they see a man with a chainsaw. His movements are eerie, like a corpse, and he quickly disappears into the house. The 5 officers break in, and as they survey the area, suddenly, someone rushed down from the 2nd floor. The officer shoots and kills him immediately, and the criminals hiding in the building swarm out. The police open fire, but they quickly realized, these criminals are not ordinary humans. They resemble zombies from movies. Fortunately, they are all experienced elites. They suppress their fear, and charge deep into the building. Fortunately, these zombies, though terrifying, can be killed by bullets. Officer Stark is distracted by something in the fridge that catches his eye. By the time he realizes, his teammates have already left. As Stark is about to chase after them, he runs straight into the chainsaw zombie. Stark is surrounded by enemies, and he rushes up the stairs to the 2nd floor. Stark hides in the shadows, avoiding the chainsaw zombie. Once the coast is clear, Stark surveys the area. He discovered a bird totem, and then, intense gunfire erupts from downstairs. Stark heads over to regroup. As they surround the chainsaw zombie and open fire, the rookie officer lunges forward and stabs it to death. While Officer Ivy inspects the body, she discovered that there's a bandage on the zombie's forehead. Could this be a sign of some sort of ritual? Just as she finishes speaking, a strange noise comes from above. The old officer orders everyone to search upstairs. As they traverse the dark corridor, they arrive at a space covered in plastic sheeting. A wooden door on one side is locked and inaccessible, while the adjacent room is open, and it appears to be a nursery. There's a hole in the ceiling. A celestial object lies on the floor below, looking like a meteorite. It has a crack on its head. Perhaps something has emerged from within. Suddenly, a fat zombie appears, and the police shoot his knees out. The zombie collapses to the ground, unconscious. Everyone gathers their courage to tear off the bandage from his head. They discovered that it is completely empty inside. The old officer seems to hear a sound, and tells Stark to slide the camera into the wall crack. From inside, they hear little Ted's cries for help. The rookie officer has just entered. When he gets separated from the group, how did he end up behind the wall? Everyone listens closely and discovers someone is singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. In the next moment, the camera captures a monster. It is hiding at the top of the abandoned house, but the stairs leading up are blocked. The old officer and his partner go downstairs to grab the chainsaw, but unexpectedly, the zombie revives once again. The old officer grabs the chainsaw and swings it. The zombie's screams attract his companions. With the chainsaw in hand, he hacks away. The old officer leads his team back to the 2nd floor. The officers saw through the wooden seal and continue forward. They saw the monster holding a baby. The officers dare not fire recklessly as the monster enters the room with the baby. The stairs to the attic are covered in vines. Everyone calls out little Ted's name. Ivy is the first to crawl up the stairs. The attic is filled with cribs. The missing babies lie inside. Their bodies have been altered by the alien creature. In the corner, little Ted's gasps can be heard. They rush over to check, and discover an alien bird is sucking the brain of little Ted, and then feeding it to the babies. The old officer immediately gives the order. Everyone opens fire on the bird, but this thing is tough and resilient. The officer's hands go numb from the recoil. Only then do they succeed in taking it down.
What do we tell the families?
Maybe it's best we don't.
Then, the 2nd segment is Dream Girl. The scene shifts to Mumbai, India, where a group of paparazzi is lying in wait. Bollywood star Perry is in the spotlight due to rumors of a breakup with her boyfriend Farhan, but Perry refuses to give an interview. Reporter Anub is pushed to the ground, and his arm is pierced by a shard of glass. Anub checks the footage he shot, but finds it's all garbage. Fortunately, there's good news from the boss. He sends Anub to the film studio, where they have found the trailer information for Dreamgirl. Tara They can get some first-hand material. The assistant can't help but gossip with Anub, saying that Tara is obsessed with black magic, which is why she became an overnight sensation in 2 years. Anub scoffs at this, because he has always had a dream of being an actor. Thus, Anub is jealous of these successful stars. The two are guided by the crew as they enter the shooting site to watch. Unexpectedly, Indian horror films also have song and dance scenes. At this moment, Tara is dancing passionately in front of the camera. In fact, she is indeed very charismatic. Just as the dance reaches its climax, Tara suddenly freezes like a robot. She gets stuck in the same pose. The manager quickly calls for a stop. The manager asks the crew to let Tara take a break. Anub and the assistant sneak out of the set, hiding in Tara's car. They want to capture something special. The manager sends Tara back to her trailer, advising her to adjust her state before filming again. If she messes up again, she will be replaced by a newcomer. As soon as the manager leaves, Tara begins to cry. Anub wants to get a clearer shot, and notices that his hand is covered in a sticky substance. Anub turns to check, and discovers a face in the basin of water. Terrified, Anub jumps out of the closet, and bumps right into Tara. Anub lies, claiming he came to deliver a bouquet. Unexpectedly, Tara believes him. Anub feels a pang of sympathy, and tells Tara not to let her manager control her. She is the dream girl, the national goddess. She can do what she truly wants. Tara is shocked by this. She doesn't want to wear the slave face. Tara intends to rip off her face. Anub is stunned, and he immediately bursts out of the door. Tara follows him out, and her face begins to contort. It turned out that the national goddess is a robot. Tara has corroded her manager's face, and passers-by flee in terror. Anub follows the crowd, entering the filming set. Tara trails behind him. The female robot pulls out her plug. She starts charging herself. Tara turns on the speakers, and continues to sing and dance, but her faceless body is horrifyingly unsettling. Tara rampages, ripping the faces off everyone. Since Tara was created by the company, she feels freedom for the first time. Soon, the entire set is left with only Anub. Tara wants to possess his face, because Anub represents awakening. She tears off his arms, and strips off his face. Then, like applying a face mask, she places it over her own face. Next, the third story is skydiving. A group of young people are on a small plane, celebrating their friend Zach's birthday. They plan to experience skydiving, to give Zach an unforgettable memory. With 3 minutes left until jump time, everyone starts getting excited. The cabin is incredibly noisy. Just then, someone suddenly shouts, "Look to the right." 3 o'clock. In the sky not far away, there is an unidentified flying object. 2 fighter jets are chasing it. The UFO suddenly flashes and collides. The plane narrowly passes by. Everyone is both scared and thrilled. The aircraft shakes violently from the UFO's influence. The shaky camera makes one dizzy. The small plane breaks apart in midair, and everyone starts plummeting toward the ground. Unlucky ones have their legs severed by debris, bleeding in midair. The lucky members manage to deploy their parachutes, finding a glimmer of hope. Logan can't answer Zach's question, because he has fallen into the hands of aliens. Zach is getting closer to the ground, and he finally deploys his parachute. In the blink of an eye, Zach crashes into an orange grove. One of his friends lands directly on the ground, and from the sound, it's clear he's dead. Zach unbuckles his parachute, only to find the corpse of his friend. Zach looks around, and he shouts for help. Finally, Zach heard the response of his friend Kyle. Zach follows the voice, and after they regroup, they search for other survivors. The situation for everyone is dire, and more terrifying is that the aliens have also fallen into the orange grove. Zach is extremely confused, and he runs wildly with his companions. The 3 stop to discuss a plan, but unexpectedly, the aliens rush in an instant. Zach doesn't have time to help Kyle, and he runs away with another companion. Kyle's scream echoes behind them. They dare not stop. The 2 press forward. In the next moment, they are about to collide with an alien. They both scream, and turn to run. Zach accidentally trips and falls. The alien quickly closes in. At this critical moment, his friend returns to save him, only to meet a tragic fate. The alien stands upright, with 2 steel needles extending from its wrist. It plunges the needles into his friend's body, sending a massive jolt of electricity. In the blink of an eye, his friend is reduced to a pile of bones. Zack senses that things are going badly, and he flees at top speed. Zack runs wildly through the orange grove. Unable to see the end of the grove, Zack finally finds his girlfriend Jess, only to discover she has been killed by an alien. Zack is heartbroken when he hears the sound of an engine. He scrambles to his feet and bolts, finally escaping the orange grove. Zack spots a truck, and he runs to squeeze into the passenger seat. The driver is startled by the stranger, and pulls out a gun, threatening Zack to get out. Zack hurriedly explains the situation, but before the driver comprehends, he is tackled by the alien. A bullet blows off Zack's right hand. Then, the alien leans in. Its forehead splits open. A beam of light shines on Zack. When his vision returns to normal, the alien has vanished. Zack climbs into the driver's seat, preparing to drive away. The items inside the truck suddenly become weightless, and the gravel outside begins to float. Then, in the chaos, Zack and the truck are pulled up into the sky. The scene shifts. The new footage titled Furry Rabies begins. Becky's dog dream house is a pet care facility. Whether it's dog walking, cleaning, or training etiquette, the dream house offers all these services. She has also developed collar cameras, allowing owners to monitor their pets 24 hours a day. An animal welfare organization saw the promotional video for the dog dream house. They noticed that on Becky's fireplace, there are 3 stuffed dogs. The dog-loving organization suspects that Becky may have tendencies toward animal cruelty. The head decides to send Stuart and Angela to pose as a couple bringing in a dog. They will install cameras in the pet bag to secretly record, in hopes of capturing Becky's true nature. The next day, Stuart and Angela come in holding the boss's beloved dog. Becky is very welcoming, and she seems to genuinely love animals. Stuart asks about the origins of the stuffed dogs. Becky explained that these were all the puppies she had raised. The saddest thing in the world is an old person sending a young one off. Becky doesn't want these precious things to be buried underground and forgotten.
This is how I honor them.
By mutilating their bodies?
Stop.
No, I'm sorry, this
Stuart,
is barbaric.
Stop it.
Becky doesn't get upset by Stuart's rudeness. She kneels down to greet the dog. As the puppy whines when she approaches, Becky's expression suddenly changes, but she quickly regains her composure. As if the earlier seriousness was just an illusion, Becky leads them on a tour. Her brother Abo is sitting in a partitioned room, and Becky pulls the curtain to block him. Then she takes the two into the basement, where the atmosphere completely shifts. Not only are there surgical tools, but there are also anatomical charts on the walls. Becky introduces the confinement room, where disobedient dogs and people are kept. As soon as she finishes speaking, Abo bursts out. He knocks Stuart over, and then he locks the two in a dog cage. It turns out Becky hates humans, so she wants to transform disobedient people into fluffy pets. On the other side, the head of the Animal Protection Organization, due to the disappearance of 2 members, cannot help but cause a scene. They break down the door, bursting into the basement. They discovered their transformed companions. Becky releases the transformed beings. She commands them to attack and kill the intruders. Finally, the 5th story is The Smuggler. The protagonist Haley travels to the desert to film a documentary. She introduces to the camera the Mojave Desert is a hotspot for UFOs, dating back to the Mojave incident of 1989. At that time, 9 flashes appeared in the sky, and campers in the desert claimed to have seen extraterrestrial beings. Just last week, the lights appeared again in the California desert.
I did. They started there, then they moved there, all perfectly spaced out, 3 of them. And they kind of came and went very quick.
Various claims emerged, with nearly 20 people reporting strange lights in the night sky. Haley sets up 6 camping sites, based on the path of the lights. In the evening, she talks to the camera alone. Haley explained that superluminal spacecraft travel differently in terms of time flow compared to Earth. Just as she finishes speaking, she noticed some lights, unsure if she captured them. She rewinds the VHS to check. She accidentally plays a birthday video of her daughter. It's clear that Haley did not capture the previous lights, and in her panic, she has overwritten her daughter's birthday footage. However, Haley remains patient. As several light points appear again, she quickly records them. Switching her camera to night vision, Haley saw a truly shocking scene. Soon, one bright point flies away. Haley drives to follow and film, reaching the location where the light fell. On the ground are several footprints, and Haley noticed that the landed spacecraft responding to the camera's flash. In the next moment, a crack opens in the spaceship, and she bravely crawls inside to film. The ship's material feels like skin, and there are no seats or controls inside. The walls are covered with white strings. Haley gathers her courage and reaches out to touch. This thing can actually make a sound, and it easily cuts through her finger. Just then, a hive-like object above her begins to emit a piercing buzz. Sparkling fragments rush toward Haley, instantly healing her finger. The entire process resembles a microscopic nanotech surgery. In the next moment, the chamber emits a glow, and Haley hides in the shadows to film. She captured the flickering shadows of the alien beings. After they leave, she dares to crawl out. Haley observes that, inside the wall's grids, there are octopuses, spiders, and other creatures. These are likely animals, captured by the aliens for experiments. Haley realizes that the aliens might be heading home, and she must escape the ship. The previously opened crack has vanished, and Haley cannot find an exit. Her body is propelled by the ship's inertia toward the sharp strings. She is instantly torn to pieces. Fortunately, the hive releases nanofactors, healing and stitching Haley's body back together. However, at her wound, abnormal tissue begins to grow. She becomes a monster. The 5 short films come to an end here. This season focuses on aliens. The most popular is the Smuggler. The human body cannot withstand lightspeed travel. After the protagonist stumbles in, she is torn apart. Although the ship repairs her body, she becomes a different kind of being. The theme is sufficiently sci-fi, but not cult enough. The remaining The Stork and Skydiving are also relatively exciting shorts. The film's atmosphere is tense and thrilling. The level of gore and curiosity is decent. As for Furry Rabies, the lead actress's performance is good, but the story is too rough. Dreamgirl is a weak segment. Overall, this one is considered above average.